getting older, so just know your rights and say, let's see everything that comes
Do you usually get more time back than during summer? Can I ask you an embarrassing question? How is your ear?
It's kind of okay. It's getting better and better for each day it goes by. Usually start up with be pretty bad actually in the morning because I don't hear so much, but at the end of the day actually sounds pretty much as normal, but still need some more time to get fixed and just slowly waiting for the body to just adapt to the new sound, so to say. So it gets better and better.
Do you fear Navi due to their recent results?
Well, I don't really fear Navi at the moment. Sure, they showed a pretty good performance against Very Games in the Mad Cats Invitational, but we played them online as well on train, and they had a different pacing towards the game than other teams. They played a very slow and a more relaxed type of game, but I don't see them becoming a threat too soon, but we'll see.
Are you afraid of Russia, and in particular beers that drink vodka and walk the streets of Moscow in caps and ear flaps?
No, not at all. I'm actually looking quite forward to going to Russia. I've never been there myself, so I think it's going to be a good time.
Name the most famous Russian.
Well, I'm a big hockey fan, so I would have to say Alexander Ovechkin plays for the Caps in NHL.
Is it possible for NIP to become a multi-gaming organization over time?
At this moment, I don't think so, but we're looking into more games, what is interesting and popular in the market right now. It could be any games who are out there right now, but for the moment, it's not really a question about time when it will come, but it could take over a year or less. It depends on what we see of potential in the game. We will see in the near future if we're gonna expand or not.
What's the weather like in Sweden?
Well, it's close to springtime right now in Sweden, so it's actually getting quite warm. Our winter wasn't that bad. We've had worse, so it's okay. A few plus. Can't complain.
Have you heard about the Cyber Festival Tech Labs Cup before?
Yes, we got invited last year when we were playing 1.6 still for SK Gaming, me and Forrest. Unfortunately, we got some problems with our visas and people couldn't really get those things done, so we couldn't travel there, so we are really sorry about that. And I've heard about from players from Marklo, for example, when they've been attending the tournaments, it's really crowded, people like the players are coming, they're enjoying the games because it's middle of the mall, what I understand of it. And I think it's going to be a good time, something new for all of us, and I cannot really say more because I haven't been there, but we will see, and I hopefully come with a smile back with this.
What is the main element in the conduct of tournaments for you? Or what do you first take notice of when you arrive to the event?
Well, first of all, it's kind of how everything is, like the venue is, how everything is set up and stuff. Then it's like, I don't know, it's more like if it's really noisy and people who are there to watch esports, or if they're just there for just to check out what's going on, have no clue what's going on. That's for me at least.
I usually go and check out the tournament area just to see how much space you have to set up, so you can fit everything, keyboard, mouse pad, as well as maybe go and take a look at what kind of monitors they have, as well as how much, how crowded it is.
It's pretty much what Steve Lauren told, but like more see how much space you have as a team, that you don't get interrupted by fans who watch the picture or interrupt with you guys when you're trying to make tactics before a game, or for some people take a smoke or just relax, go outside, maybe find a toilet easily without having any problems. As well, get some easy cold drinks as well.
I'm just trying to find out where I can buy my drinks, so I always have fresh supplies of water or Coke or whatever is needed for me to be able to stay on my top game, huh?
What is the most successful, interesting, and memorable tournament for you? And what is the most terrible, disastrous, and absurd event for the whole period of your career?
Well, my most memorable tournament will always be WG 2005 with Grip. It was my first international tournament as a young Swedish player, and we were able to win that tournament, and it kind of boosted me to the direction where I am today, and I'm very happy with that victory. I can't really say a specific tournament which has been the worst ever. Sure, there has been a few tournaments which hasn't gone correctly, but overall I think it's pretty good nowadays, and I'm quite happy how the tournaments are handled right now.
Do you think CSGO will become the mainstream as 1.6 was?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the game is growing by every single week. So look at CS:GO how it was 2 months ago. We had maybe a player base of 25k a day, and right now we're peaking at about 35k a day. So I mean, just for the course of that, you know, it is increasing, and Valve is trying really hard to improve the game as much as they can. So yeah, for sure, I really think that CS:GO will be as big as 1.6 was.
What is your choice? CSGO or CS 1.6?
CS:GO.
CSGO.
CS:GO.
And CSGO.
How are you going to spend the evening in Moscow? Have you got a hard training schedule, or will you hang out in the clubs?
I think we will just relax in the hotel room. We have a busy month coming up in April where we attend many tournaments. So, I mean, if we have a lot of time, we might go out. But otherwise than that, we'll probably just relax in the hotel room.
Is it easy for your girls to let you attend various festivals and events?
I don't think so, because we have been talking about it and so on, but we haven't really had any problems with it, and I don't think it will become a problem either, because she knows that it's my lifestyle and what I want to do and so on, and I want to travel the world and see places which I probably will not see when I'm getting older and older. So I'm just enjoying the ride, so to say, and just want to see everything that comes with it.
Do you usually get more tanned on the back than during the summer?
Ska jag ta den igen?
Det var så jävla
troll.
Så jävla bait alltså. Alltså jävla... Ja, men det där jag läste. Jävla baiter alltså.
Är det klart?
Det är klart, ja.